two Swedes, Högstedt and Örtendahl, made some very simple experiments. They took amalgam, not from the mouth, but they prepared like if they were going to put it into the mouth of a dental patient, and they just put it in front of computer screens, turned on the screen and measured the extraction of mercury, the spontaneous evaporation of mercury. And to make a very long story short, they found that it was different between different brands, and within a specific brands, different models behave differently. And as a whole, many of these brands did extract mercury, and you don't need to be a scientist. As you say, you can just be a curious, ordinary human being to realize that if we take these amalgam preparations and put them inside the mouth of a dental patient, and then they go home happily and spend the rest of their life in front of computer screens, iPads, cell phones, and other electromagnetic installations, of course you will have an evaporation inside your mouth, and that will dissolve and find its way to every part of your body, and you have a full-scale mercury, nickel, etc. intoxication of your body. And the whole experimental series was then later on adapted by, I think they are from Iran, scientists that changed the computer screen to cell phones. And again, we would like to do more detailed and controlled studies because there are always question marks. Yeah. Did they think about this and that, and so-called confounders, factors that could have had an extra impact on the experiment? And we would like to do more such experiments. And we are constantly searching for economic support. But of course, someone needs to step up, either a private person or a governmental authority, and say, hey, this is important. We need to find out. And for instance, I'm still waiting for such control studies regarding the impact of electromagnetic fields and viruses. There are a few papers indicating that viruses are kind of activated by such man-made fields. But again, there are also question marks that needs to be straightened out. And of course, I mean, Davida, you are really a sister, I would call it, to the former great scientists of our previous decades through observation, like Rachel Carson, that wrote the book, The Silent Spring, noting what happened in her surrounding reality, and just through observation, understanding that mercury in seeds that were used for crop growing had killed off birds, small birds. And she started everything you can put the words environment or green or whatever before, and you work in the same type of arena just by observing and also thinking, reflecting, and trying to plainly understand what is actually causing this. And you may remember that I started when I retired in 2017. I started my own institute because I felt I was a bit naked without the Karolinska Institute. So I have nowadays the Institute of Common Sense for Common Sense. And people, people love it because they realize that often common sense is maybe the only thing you need to see and realize what's going on. And it's too little of that. And I hope we can continue collaborating as we do for many, many years more,
I started writing a book on common sense many years back. As you know, I love writing, but it's such a difficult topic. I stopped. It's still lying there.
No, you should continue. Maybe we could write it even together, because I think in the word common sense, there are many levels of scientific exploration hidden. And when I look at some of the great scientists, the last, should we say, 1,000 years or 800 years or 500 years, I'm impressed by the simplicity in their reasoning and how they easily realize what their peers at the time couldn't see. It was just in front of them, and that particular person saw it, but the rest didn't.
Yeah.
And you need to use common sense sometimes, and also you need to be brave because people will not love you when you point out things. For instance, Rachel Carson, this fantastic lady, world famous, she was met with an enormous disbelief initially, and people tried to defame her, ridicule her, bully her, you know. And I've been through all of that, and I'm not comparing me to her, not at all, no. And the same, I'm sure you have also encountered opposition, because people, they just don't want to believe, they just don't want to see, although it's just in front of them.